So if you're going for a set of these sergeant stripes, or maybe you're going for your inspector's pips, or maybe beyond that for chief inspector or superintendent, you're going to have a promotion board. And in this video, I'm going to highlight 5 big mistakes that you absolutely want to avoid if you want to be successful in your board and achieve that next rank. But before we continue, who am I and why should you listen to anything I've got to say? My name is Brendan from Bluelight, and over the past 31 years now, I've been supporting people for promotion boards through the coaching I've delivered and the coaching that my team on the Bluelight team now deliver. We've got awesome, amazing results, over 800 5-star Trustpilot reviews. So don't just take our word for it. We are really good at doing what we do. But let's dive in. Let's dive into these big mistakes that people have actually made over the past few weeks. And I've got this from doing one-to-ones myself and also reviewing webinars that my team members, my fellow coaches, have run over the past few weeks. The first one is MG5. Your answers are not meant to sound like an MG5. Honestly, for one individual, we're about 5 minutes in, and it was just like this detailed description of everything that had happened in this incident. It was absolutely too much, far too much. His answer would have gone on for over 10 minutes if I'd let him do so. By then, the board would have absolutely cut you off. They would have been bored out of their brains, and you would have failed to inspire them that you're going to be a leader in the next rank. So we need to make sure that our answers are not sounding like an MG5. Next, value added. You need to demonstrate not only are you capable of dealing with the sort of things that you're going to have to deal with in the next rank, but also they want some ideas from you about demonstrating value. So if you've got a chief superintendent who's interviewing you for the rank of sergeant inspector, chief inspector, or even superintendent, it's probably going to more be like an ACC or a DEP for a superintendent, but they're going to be looking to you, not thinking this individual's awesome and amazing at delivering behaviors and phrases from the CVF. They're going to be listening to you thinking, can this person add value on my division? Can this person add value to my force? If the answer is yes, then they're going to be on side and they're going to look to promote you. I know this because I've been in promotion boards. I know this because I've talked to my fellow coaches. Not one individual, not one of those coaches, not one of those assessors at the end of any promotion board has ever said, this individual is amazing at reciting phrases and buzzwords from the CVF. No, what they actually say when you walk out the door is things like, I can really see them on my division as a chief inspector. I can really see them in that role. That's the sort of impact that you want to have. And the way to do that is to deliver value. Third point, enabler. So if you're going for the rank of inspector, you need to be talking about how you've enabled sergeants to do the thing that you need to do. If you're going for the rank of chief inspector, you need to be talking about how you've enabled your team, if you're in a temporary role as a chief inspector, your inspectors to do whatever it is. You're not the one that's doing the direct doing anymore. And so many of you fall into this trap. You talk about how you'd brief up the constables and PCSOs. No, that's not your job anymore. Your job is to brief up the sergeants. Your job is to brief up the inspectors to ensure that the inspectors deliver on that thing, whether it's partnership working, standards, performance, diversity, equality, and inclusion, well-being and welfare, whatever the big thing is, and those are some of the big things that chiefs are worried about. You need to be talking about how you enable your team to do those things so that you can step back and get on with doing more things that are appropriate to your rank. So too many of you are talking about going directly to the PCs. Think about it. If you're an inspector going directly to the PCs, what are your sergeants going to think? They're going to be like, all right, I'm not needed here. The inspector's doing it. So make sure that you're enabling and not dictating. Make sense? Awesome. Right level. That kind of links in with the right level. So many of you are giving evidence of how awesome you are as a PC if you're going for the rank of sergeant, or if you're going for the rank of inspector, how amazing you are at being a sergeant. Your answers are at completely the wrong level, or sometimes you're just delivering an answer which actually a good PC could deal with. So an example of that from one of our one-to-ones recently was someone who's going for the rank of chief inspector talked about how they challenged someone else's behavior. But the thing is, that's something that a counter clerk could have done. It's something a PCSO could have done. It's something a PC could have done. So your answer was at completely the wrong level. And the board are just going to listen to you and just go, yeah, so what? So what? So if it's around standards, ethical standards, your role as an inspector, future inspector, your role as a future sergeant, your role as a future chief inspector or superintendent is to talk about how you're going to enable your officers, your team to set the right standards, as opposed to you challenging inappropriate behavior yourself. They know you can do that. You're a sergeant, you're an inspector. you're a chief inspector. They know that you can do that already. And lastly, talk too much. Now, this doesn't refer to you talking too much in your board, although sometimes, like I said, people do go on for more than 5 minutes. Your answer should be no more than 5 or 6 minutes long. This is from a panel. So one of the assessments that a lot of forces use for chief inspector and superintendent is a panel interview. And that's where they put you in front of a dummy community panel. Now, this individual talked far too much. You need to be asking really good questions and listening. That's all you're there to do. Ask really good questions, listen, and take an approach, as opposed to being a public servant, more of a citizen enabler. So what can you do to enable those citizens and partner agencies inside that community to do awesome things and amazing things, as opposed to you directly taking the lead for everything, talking too much, not listening, and not asking the right questions. Making sense? There you go, folks. 5 big mistakes. If you'd like to find out how to avoid those 5 mistakes and work with us directly to ensure that you score brilliantly in your promotion board, then check the link below at the very top of the description or in the comments. There's a link to complete a form. Complete that form and then we can have a conversation with you. It's like an hour long. We'll dive deep into where you are now, where you want to be, and what you're struggling with, to see if we can help you, see if you could be a member of our Bluelight Promotion Academy, where we actually guarantee the result. So if you don't pass, we give you a full refund. How about that? How confident is that? That is real confidence, isn't it? But we've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for 31 years. My fellow coaches have all got like decades of experience under their belt. We know we can help support you to succeed. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, ask in the comments. Otherwise, I shall see you on the other side, hopefully on one of our webinars.